I had I had a I had a whole spiel, man. I had me a whole page here, man, of stuff, man. I got a whole page of stuff here. Had a whole
Let
page of
it
stuff
out.
I wanted to talk about. But what happened today? Like we got to talk about it, man. we we got to talk about what happened today.
Whew. Was that a mess?
Man, my hometown, Chi-Town. That was embarrassment. I'm embarrassed, man. I really am. I'm embarrassed. I am embarrassed, man. Actually embarrassed. I know that fool embarrassed himself, but I'm embarrassed.
Sad, man.
That knucklehead, Dan Lemon, or whatever his first name is, Lemon, they need to take that Negro out and tar and feather him.
Well, I haven't chance to do deep dive on this guy, but I can almost guarantee you that he is not. He's probably from the Caribbeans or Haitian or something. He's just been in this country for a few years, him and his family. I'm just saying, I don't know for sure. Because 30 years ago, over 35 years ago, I used to be in the I used to work in the editorial side of the newspaper. And we used to go to these black journalists associations. And man, they were great. People were in tune with the black businesses and they was in tune with the black community. Now there was a few, there was Boule, but for the most part, most people were about getting the news out correctly. You had some very professional people that work for major newspapers. Well, not right now. Newspapers are pretty much dead now. You know, there were so many editorial black people that worked in editorial. So many black people worked and had their own column. So many black people had their different things, as far as if they wrote reporters, beat reporters, all of that. Now, the only fault that I found out by being a recruiter, because that's what I was, a recruiter, on the editorial side, uh, a lot of these journalists were, what they wanted to talk about is everyday news. They didn't want to go into the black community because that's the only way they can figure they can move up their career and move into major newspapers. So a lot of the journalists that work for these local newspapers, of course, they want to go to the New York Times and the LA Times, the major big, Newsday, all of those different major newspapers that had 500, 600, a million plus subscribers. So now and I had a mind to do this, to do a beat down, a sort of like a rabbit hole in what's going on with the black journalists a few weeks ago, but I never did it. But I have tried to contact over the years because they are located in here. The local one is located in is either Clearwater or St. Petersburg, and they don't, they have their little banquets every year. That's how they make their money. That's how they, get money. They recruit high schoolers to try to get them into journalism and that kind of thing. But really, it's just a political thing for people to get in, those people that want to get into broadcasting and that kind of thing, and they'll get awards, and that's a feather in their hat. So, and then they also recruit corporations to give money to to their organization, because to run that organization costs money, because the president has to go all around the different branches of the Black Journalists Association. So now the reason why I'm thinking that what this guy did, he got a whole lot of attention. They were upset because Kamala Harris told them that right now I can't do it, but I can do it at a later date, or I can do a video and then I can come live later. They didn't want even her to do a video interview. No, you got to come live. How you gonna tell a vice president, tell them that they got to come live? Tell me what's the difference between live and a video. So the thing is that it's sad, but a lot of people now, from what I've heard, they're going to be jumping out of this Black Journalists Association, or that guy is going to have to resign.
He's got to go. He's got to go. He's got to go. Ted, I have several different scenarios. Now, he had a chance to do something. When he saw the backlash that was coming at him, even the day before that, he had a backlash coming at him. And the day before that, he had a backlash coming at him, telling him he should not have done that. Okay, the fathead Negro is hard-headed. I'm sorry. I'm upset with him, Ted. Hey, I email their organization and stuff on their contact list on their website page. I did. I was so upset, and I emailed on their thing, because I know they should, whatever they should do, he should be hung up. He's a coward. He is a coward, because if you're going to sit down there and be so arrogant that you're going to go against your executive board and do something, and then tell the people out there, well, he deserves to be over here, and we've always had him on here, and we're going to do this. Okay, you're going to do this. But he knows what that man is about. He does not like Black women. He denigrates them, and he has a history of doing that. So if you're going to allow him to come on your show, why put these three women up there on the stage to help to try to defend themselves? Because that Negro came at them women right from the beginning. He got nasty. He dogged that girl out. He dogged out ABC, told them that she working for ABC, that they was a trash thing, and he dogged out their organization. Right from the get-go, he jumped right at him. When you sit down there and look at him, y'all were late. I've been y'all half an hour late. You got inferior equipment around here. Your sound thing is bad. I can't hardly hear people. I don't know what's going on here. They should have ran that little yellow-haired Negro off the stage right there, walked off the stage and got the heck out of there. But they sat there and they took it.
Yeah.
Now, they had said that the reason why they were going to have him there, because they got Black journalists and stuff there. This ain't Fox News who let him get away with this crap. This ain't CNN who lets him get away with this crap. That ain't the other station that he goes on, and to let him get away with this crap, but they did. they allowed him to sit there on that daggone stage, embarrass all three of them women. And he did the young lady in the blue, the first young lady from ABC. He did her so bad and everything. I felt sorry for girlfriend. I really did, Ted. I felt sorry for her
I don't know
because
why.
he dogged her out, and she took it. She stayed right there and took it, thinking that she was okay with this stuff. That Negro had no scruples at all. And they sat there and let him lie on that stage and didn't say he was a lie. He sat there and said that the vice president who is running for election, she wasn't even in the tournament. She failed her test for law license.
He
You
said
gonna
that. I
tell
didn't
him?
hear that.
He said that. He said she failed her test for her law license. He don't know why she's an attorney because she failed her test. She was stupid. He said all that. And they never stopped him from saying it. Oh, said, Mr. President or Donald or whatever his name is, you are a liar. This woman has been the Attorney General for the largest state in this nation. If she didn't have or didn't pass her law license, she could have never been an Attorney General for the state of California.
She couldn't
She
have
never,
practiced. She couldn't
they
have
never
practiced
stopped
law.
her. She couldn't practice law. They did anything about it. They never even stopped him. Or even all they did was just kept on asking questions. Well, sir, and that lady, that little thin lady over there, I forget her name and stuff now
From
and
Fox News, Harris.
Hera or
Harris.
whatever her name is. She Ted, I hate to say this about that woman. You talking about car towers and everything. Because Trump congratulated her. Oh yeah, I've had an interview with you. You a nice lady and all that. But he can dog out the other two, but tell her she's a nice lady. And she just sat down there and grinned and skinny and gritted and she, because he said that to her. It's a crying shame, Ted. It's an absolute crying shame. It is. It really is. Now, after all that stuff going on, you see all the new people come on. He had a terrible debate. He had a terrible. You mean to tell me that these black women and stuff who's supposed to be journalists, who writing in for newspapers and all this other stuff and everything, allowed that man to denigrate them like that? If they're in a backlash, if that Negro does not do it, my grandson, he's a member of them organization. I had to talk to him. Tyler, you need to leave them folks alone. Resign your membership to them son of gun because I wouldn't. I couldn't believe that they allowed that stuff to happen. The man sat there and lied, told them that he is the best thing that black people have since Abraham Lincoln. and
Well,
told them they taking their black jobs. They never.
well, he recamped on that. He didn't double down on that. He recamped on that. He said every job is a black job.
But that wasn't even a recant. He was just bull. He was just raking over because he didn't know what the heck he was talking about. Oh man, that Ted, I was so upset, man, for all the way up until about an hour ago, man. I was fired up, man. If we had had our show 2 hours ago and everything, Mr. Bishop been sitting up in here and they would have censored our show on YouTube because there have been so many curse words coming out of my mouth. Oh my goodness.
Well,
I don't know. Go ahead.
no, the only thing is what I want to say is that basically when you're a journalist, you can't come at your interviewer. That's how they've been trained. You can't argue with your interviewer. So even though they kept on trying to interrupt him and say, I have another question, or can you answer the question? A lot of times he didn't even answer the question. He just went on and on and on. And that's the reason why they took him from the thing, because they were getting upset because he wasn't answering the question. All he was doing was just doing his talking points and his propaganda.
But Ted, he was throwing the propaganda out there, and as journalists, you have a right to dispute what they have to say. Now, Trump is not a you talking about normal people. You talking about normal interviews with normal people. That Negro ain't normal. He is norm. He is not normal. He does not like black women. He didn't show that. He will denigrate you and
Well,
dog you out and talk about you like you was. And if you sit there and you allow him to do it, you have to stop him some kind of way. You have to talk about, hey, there's nothing that in protocol that I'm thinking of that I know about that you can't sit there and say, man, you a liar. You need to throw him off of his tail. You are a liar. That's not what she is an attorney. She has passed her bar. She has been to one of the prestigious law institutions uh, in this country, which is a HBCU school, Howard University. And he looked at the HBCU and said, well, I helped them out because they were broke and they needed my financial. We need to give them some financial help and everything, just like he gave them a loan that they had to pay back. How is that helping somebody? An institution that teaches children, you gonna get them a loan. Or he made it seem like it was a loan to them because they were broke. Now, my comeback to him and everything, well, what happened to Trump University? Were they broke? Did you hey? Oh,
he lied.
on
He
with this
lied about the HBCU funding.
ABU, man, poor HBCU, and the sad part about it is that they in 2016 and 2017, all of them HBCU presidents went up there and sat at his table and licked his boots.
And they
I
still
was
didn't get no
ashamed
extra
then.
money.
I was ashamed then. They was up there begging for that money. Yes, sir. Y'all, sir, Mr. White Man. I want that money. When we gonna stand up for ourselves? Take whatever backlash comes. I'm gonna stand up for myself because you can't allow a bully to bully you. You got to stand up for yourself. You don't. That man's a bully. That's all he is. He's a bully, and everything he said on there was a lie. Hell, excuse my French people. Joe Biden did better than them. I could have put little Joe up there. He did better than them. Oh, anyway, on with the show, Ted. I had to get that off my chest, man. I feel a little bit better now. So we can talk about some other stuff now and everything about what we were going to talk about. Oh, yesterday, people, after we had a problem and stuff, we had a big problem with our show yesterday because of the storm going up and our internet and stuff kind of acted a fool on us. So bear with us today. Uh,
Well,
I one of
well, the
I
only
had to
thing
say
that
I had to say one thing, Javier, let me say this. Uh, yeah, our vice presidential candidate is picking a running mate. And you're going to hear this first on our show. Josh Shapiro is going to be the vice presidential candidate for the Democrats. Go
That's
ahead.
your pick.
Huh?
That's your pick.
I know he is. I'm 88% sure he's going to be.
88%.
88%, man. I ain't 100, but I'm 88%. Then come Tuesday, Kamala is going to announce that that's her pick. I can guarantee you that. I'm looking forward to it. Jonathan Capehart last night, right after she had her rally, had her Kamala's communication director on his show. And just at the end of it, Jonathan, with his little slick self, he's a slick little rascal that you got to watch him and stuff. He may have some alternate lifestyle stuff going on, but he's a journalist. He slipped in to her communication director and said, "Oh, you all are having her first rally in Philadelphia, for this tour next week." Yeah. Oh, so we looking to see Josh Shapiro as the vice president candidate, and bro, man, he was a black guy. He flinched for about a second, and then he caught himself. Oh no! You can't. We can't do all that. It's still it's still a race. It's still a horse race out here. And today, our Morning Joe, the other supposedly quote unquote candidate, who was the U.S. Senator from Arizona, they asked him what was he going to be doing next week. And he said, "I'm going to be in Arizona taking care of some business over here." They nailing it down. Oop, oop. I would think that by Sunday, somebody in the news media are going to say, "That's the man right there, Josh," because these people are, these news media folks, they picking at these folks, they're picking at them, they're picking at them, they're picking at them, because she going to be in Philadelphia. All the rest of them, they already planning, saying that they're going to be someplace else. Brother Josh is out there.
I'm happy for her, and she did run for president, and she got the opportunity by being vice president. So she was next in line and all of that. But she made some promises.
What were they?
She made some promises.
What were the promises?
And she said that she wants to restore women's right to abortion.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, she didn't mention that one time that in order to get that change back, it has to go through Congress. She mentioned that she was going to come at the corporations that are price gouging.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that are, and that's what they're doing, they're price gouging, that's for real. Mm-hmm. So she's got to bring down those prices.
Mm-hmm.
She mentioned that she's going to improve ACA.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have gutted a lot of it.
Mm-hmm. All those things doable. Go ahead.
She mentioned that she was going to, immigration. She was going to fix immigration.
Mm-hmm.
She mentioned that she was going to pass the John Lewis voting rights bill.
All those are doable. Go ahead.
She mentioned something regarding about the gun rights thing. So she wanted to get registration checks and that kind of thing and get the bump stock out. So
Background
all of
checks.
those things has to do with Congress.
Not all of them, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, she can do executive orders and all that kind of stuff, but that means that's
Thank you.
temporary. That's only
But
temporary.
but she has done something. She is going to do something about it. She's going to make a. First of all, you said that she said that she was going to do something about the women and taking care of
Abortion
that
rights.
abortion rights. Okay, now, but she also said that when it comes across her desk, which means that she's expecting Congress to pass it, and it comes across her desk, she says she's gonna sign it.
Well, I'm gonna ask you a question. When it comes across your desk, well, if it would have came back to Biden's desk, President Biden's desk, he would have signed it. But not one time did she mention that to the people while she was talking to the American people, not the audience, to the American people. I need a Congress to get it done.
I think that it has been understood that they're going to win both houses of those Congresses. And I'm pretty sure that people understand that it is going to be, they are going to win. They're going to be a speaker named Jeffries. And the majority leader is going to stay whoever he is.
So we're taking for granted that people understand all that.
Well, I'm pretty sure that she understands that the Senate is probably going to stay in the Democrats' hands, and she's pretty sure that Hakeem
It's
is
not in the
going to get.
Democrats' hands now.
Huh?
It's not in the Democrats' hands now.
What do you mean?
Congress.
I know, but it will be.
How is that?
Because Hakeem's going to be the speaker here in just a little bit. Some election in November over with.
How is that? How is that going to happen?
They need 5 seats. That's it. Less than that.
So
They need 5 more
banking
seats.
on that she needs 5 seats, and she didn't
Right.
mention not one time that I need a Congress to get it done.
Hakeem came on. He's been coming on these daily shows and saying that he got those 5 seats, and those 5 seats, he said, is going to come out of New York. But he's also said there's some other avenues and stuff that they're looking at that they know that they got a damn good chance of winning. In several states that they have in battle, Republican congressmen and stuff and everything that they are pretty sure are not going to win re-election.
Well, this is my problem here. I'm just saying. You need 60 votes to pass.
No, you don't.
Rights.
No, you don't. No, you don't. It's how they get it through the Senate. You don't need the 60 votes. You can get it done without the 60 votes. They got the Affordable Care Act passed without those 60 votes. They never had 60 votes and stuff that came through there for any of those legislations and stuff, except for a few of them that got passed through there. They never got it. When they passed the Affordable Care Act, when Obama was the president, they didn't have 60 votes. They passed it with a majority. The Senate has some very arcane rules that they can bypass that 60 majority and stuff and do it with a 60 polarity and still do it with 50. McConnell has been doing it for a long time, passing through his nominees. They've been passing these uh, federal judges and stuff through the Senate with 51 or 52 votes. All of them who came through there, they have never had 60 votes. They got archaic rules, and you know the game, you can get them through with 50 or 51 votes. You can pass something out of that Senate. Because I thought the same thing you did several years ago until Obama got in office there, and Harry Reid was the Senate Majority Leader, Democratic Senate Majority Leader, and he got the Affordable Care Act through that Senate, through these arcane rules that they got, and got it through with 51 votes.
Okay, Ed, I just looked it up. The Affordable Care Act passed the Senate 60 to 39 along party lines on December 24th, 09.
Mm-hmm.
Passed in the House 219 to 212. You need 60 votes, bro.
No, you don't. You can get it
Okay.
through. You have to remember, Ted, that it went through there with those votes and everything, but they got it. It was stopped because Boehner was in the House and everything at first when they passed that stuff, and they had to send it back to the Senate and everything twice. They had to run that vote through that for the
I'm
Affordable
just
Care
telling
Act
you what
through
they
the Senate
got here.
twice. Well, they're
60
lying
votes
because
to
that's not
pass
what
through
happened.
the Senate and 219 to pass it through the House.
That's not what happened.
I'm telling you, this is what the votes were.
I'm telling you, that's not what happened.
You telling me?
That's not what
Well,
happened.
Google's wrong then.
Well, Google's wrong. They can be wrong sometimes. That's not what happened, Ted, because I was watching that stuff. How do you think that the speaker, Nancy Pelosi and stuff, had to force that stuff through there because the Republicans were not going to pass it, man?
Do you know? Do you realize who was in charge? Who was the head of the Senate back then?
Harry Reid.
Thank you.
And he got it through the Senate with
60 votes.
50-some votes.
60 votes.
No, he didn't.
Look
There
it up
wasn't
yourself,
60
bro.
people who got it through there, brother.
Well,
I'm telling you what happened.
I'm through having
Because
that
Obama
conversation.
almost gave it up and everything, and she called both of those men into conference and stuff and everything, and said, "We gonna get this thing passed," and they got it through because Harry Reid had to pull off some tricks and stuff in the Senate so he can get it passed with 50-some votes, Ted. I'm telling you, that's what happened, man, because I thought it was crazy that he could do that, but he got it done.
Well, I'm just saying what they got here. 60 votes.
Okay. Yeah, I tell you what, if
Google
you get
is
a chance
wrong
and
then.
stuff, well, you can Google all you want. Google has been wrong now. That ain't the gospel. Google has been wrong. Because I've sat there and watched that stuff because I'm sitting there watching because I wanted the Affordable Care Act passed, and I watched Obama give up on it because them Republicans were dead set, man. Mitch McConnell was dead set on not letting that thing pass the Senate. So I know they didn't have no 60 votes to pass it.
Okay, now the main thing is immigration.
Okay.
So now
they had a deal, Ted. Remember, they had a deal with some conservative senators who ran it through their place. They ran it through and they got it and they sent it over there to the House. And the only reason why it didn't pass the House because Johnson wouldn't bring it to the damn floor. They had a chance to pass it. Bob Biden he knew that he was getting ready to sign it until Trump called up the speaker and said, "Hey, I don't want that stuff to go through."
We already know all that. What
Right.
I'm saying
So
he can't.
He can't. As long if the speaker had brought it to the floor, it would have passed.
So
if the
there we
speaker
go
had
again.
Brought it to the floor,
here we go again. What
no,
you
we're
need,
going to go on because we know
what
that
you
Hakeem.
need is a House. You need Congress people.
I'm saying to you, Ted, Hakeem and them are absolutely sure. They're more sure about the House turning over to be Democrats than they are in the Senate staying in Democratic control. Even the news media knows that Hakeem going to be the next Speaker of the House. They know it already. They already. I'm telling you, if you talk to any of those prognosticators out there about what's going to happen in Congress, they up to the man. All the posters are going to tell you the way it looks now. Hakeem is going to be the Speaker of the House. He just ain't said it. He's sitting around there smirking. He ain't smiling yet, but he's smirking because he know that he got it. If everything goes the way he think it's going to go, he got it. The Republicans are going to lose that house because they got too much stuff going on. People are tired of that crap. Even the people in those strong red areas and stuff and everything know they tired of that mess. They want to get something done, and these people haven't passed a law since they started 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. So I believe that she's going to get most of that stuff done. Probably not all of it. There's a lot of stuff going on, Ted. There's a lot of ways to get that stuff done. But if she stays in there long enough, I believe she's going to be able to get it done.
The list she made, if Congress, if they have the House, and they have the Congress, they should be able to do all those things. Now, the reason why I brought all of that up, that wasn't the reason why I brought that up. That's a lot of stuff, but that all depends on if she gets the House.
It's a lot of stuff. It's a
the
load to
thing
bear. It's a load to carry.
Here's the thing that I really would appreciate what she would talk about. Now, she needs to talk about business, corporations. Now, she mentioned she's going to get on these corporations about price gouging in the rent, price gouging in the grocery stores, price gouging in insurance. All of those things are being price gouged.
Mm-hmm.
However, the one thing that she's going to enhance. Right now, we got about anywhere between 35 and 33 million businesses in this country.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to increase that?
And then make it available you mean force them to lower the prices in the stores.
No. Increase businesses. Now, Obama had the reason why there were more employment and everything, he had all of these initiatives, allow people to do all kinds of investments, all kind of crazy ways to get people to look at other businesses and invest in their business and see if they'll make it. And he gave them incentives for that. But the thing is, what is she going to do regarding businesses to help create businesses? So more people of color, when I say people of color, I'm talking about Black people, to open up more business in their communities. Because, the high tech people, they got investors and venture capitalists to invest in their businesses because they're coming up with new ideas. But the thing about Black community is that they need direct services type businesses. They need more cleaners, more filling stations in their community, grocery stores, retail stores, those types of things. And that, to me, and that's not only in the Black community, that's all over. You can go to different little small, fairly small cities and towns, and you go down that thoroughfare and you see small businesses. And when I say small business, I'm talking about $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. I'm not talking about no at-home business. I'm talking about retail stores, professional servicing, and that kind of thing. Now, to me, she should be emphasizing SBA, getting more funding to the Black community. See, now I didn't know this, but Obama's the one that spearheaded DEI. And the reason why he did that, he wanted more people in the state and government things. That's what he spearheaded, DEI. So what happened was is that all through the country while he was in office, you had all of these people that was getting these diversity, equity, and officers. And that's the reason why a lot of them, since they've been doing the negative talking about them, a lot of them have been fired. So what I'm saying is that we already had certain things that was in place, and then he brought up DEI and trying to increase for the minorities. And when I say minorities, I'm talking about all people, but basically that was for all minorities, not just for black people, to increase and enhance. Because, see, I worked for 5 different corporations. 3 of them were for outside sales. When you go to, like when I was selling advertising, you go to speak to the person that's in charge of an advertising company or in charge of advertising, and you walk through their business, you don't see no black people, bro. They don't hire black people. Most of these corporations don't hire black people. Well, I'm talking about mid-sized corporations, doing 10 million, 20 million, $30 million a year. Now the big corporations, yeah, multi-billionaire, billion corporations, they hire black people, but the percentage there is very low, 3%, 5%. But you go through these mid-sized corporations that's getting government contracts or they're getting any kind of help from the government, you don't see no black people. Now, it's a mandate now because of the DEI that President Obama did, which who got rid of it, Trump. So that's the thing. The thing is that people be looking for jobs. I'm talking about meaningful jobs. I ain't talking about no $10, $15 an hour. I'm talking about $25 to $30, $40 an hour jobs that they qualify for, but they don't get the opportunity to do. So those are the things that what helps black people. And I ain't hearing that. We always hearing from the Democrats. Medicare, prescription drugs, Social Security, all of that kind of stuff. But what about making money? America is about making money. You have to make money. That's why a lot of people pull for Trump, because they, in their own blind eyesight, they believe he's a businessman and he gonna help me. Now, he had this thing called opportunity zones. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Now
Empowerment
he did.
zone.
Huh?
That was one of President Clinton's programs and stuff that he started, those empowerment zones, because he wanted to create zones and stuff and everything to where the federal government would invest into these zones,
Well,
because
it goes
that's
back
where
farther than that. I mean,
that's
even
where that's where
Richard Nixon
because
brought that up.
because that's where poor folks was at, and each year uh, different presidents and stuff who came into office and everything used those empowerment zones and everything to put money and stuff into our communities and everything. But once they start doing that, you have those evil axes and stuff that I call them evil axes, who
Absolutely.
see where that money is at, and then their thing is to go in there and get it and to do whatever they can to steal that money and stuff from the federal government that they've been put out there for these empowerment zones,
Right.
which which made them get rich because they used the rules and regulations and stuff and everything to exploit that.
Absolutely.
Because doing those empowerment zone things and stuff, they were mandated and stuff to hire so many minorities and stuff when they had these federal contracts to go into to these areas. Well, once these big companies and stuff found out that was going on, they just put to say, well, we're gonna get this money anyway. We're gonna put figureheads and stuff in there into these companies and stuff, and the white person still owns the company, but they got the black person sit down there, or a person of color, or a
Black owned.
women, and they use white women to do that too because women was there, so they were part of that. They brought the white women and stuff in there and said this white woman owns this company, but she really didn't actually own that company. So they absurded those rules and stuff and everything so they can grab the biggest share of that pie. So whatever you put something out there, there's always going to be somebody who's going to exploit. Once they find out the rules and
But the
regulations, they're going to exploit it.
exploitation was humongous. The exploitation was humongous because you had other minorities that was taking advantage of that.
Then that's what happens, Ted, that we have to realize and stuff the game. And if you don't realize the game and you are not strong enough to get out there and fight that fight in that game and stuff and everything, or you're gonna sit down there and cry, well, he did this to me and I can't do nothing. You can't sit down there and cry. You got to get down there and fight for what you want. You fighting for what
I
you
hear
want.
you talking.
And yeah, in the business and
I hear
stuff, you
you
got to
talking.
fight for what you want.
I hear you talking.
Yeah,
I hear
and
you talking.
we, we have to fight.
I hear you talking.
Yeah, we got to we
you
got to
know,
fight, man.
the
Hey,
one thing that I hear people say all the time, you got to go for it. Well, there are people, hundreds and thousands of people, black people I'm talking about, they go for it. They keep getting rejected.
well,
They keep on, they come
you
back,
know
they keep getting rejected, and they
you know
keep fighting. Now,
you
here's the
don't take
thing:
you
when
don't
you don't
take no for an
spearhead, see,
answer.
here's the thing: what they do, because you know what they'll say. Well, what you're doing is you showing favoritism to the black people.
No,
That's what these other minorities will say.
no.
See, that's what they would say, and then so therefore they don't want to get sued, and they might have a better application than that black person businesses. And so therefore, hey, these people, I'm talking about the workers, the people that's issuing these funds and looking at the applications and stuff, they don't want to get sued. So here's the thing. This is, I'm just saying, this is what happens. You can fight all you want. You can go up there to the city hall, and come up here and you can pitch a bitch and all that kind of stuff. But hey, they don't want to get sued. And people will sue because you got people. See, these people that come from other countries, they got the backup. So, so here we are, and they say, I know it's hundreds of black people because I was in banking, and I talked to a lot of black people, and I'm gonna tell you, they don't get the same opportunities as a lot of these other minorities. And then a lot of times, sometimes, okay, just like everybody else, they don't have all their T's crossed and their I's dotted. But the point is, they want to open up a business, they want to open up a restaurant, they want to open up a filling station, they want to open up a cleaners, they want to open up this and that, and they don't get those opportunities. You know, so you're going to tell me that an Asian, and I'm just using this, it's not a racist thing, I'm just saying the facts. How you going to have in all of your blocks, not as much now, it used to be back, you had all Asian people that had hair places.
Yep.
And who was the most person that used hair buying places?
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I'm saying, but they knew how to get that money.
Right. They fought and and they used their willpower, they used everything they could to keep black folks from getting into the hair business. and they use their monopoly to force people and stuff out. Sometimes that's what you have to do. You have to fight and use your head and use your monopoly, if you got it, to force them people out of what's going on there. So I don't see no reason and stuff why. And people know what they're doing, and they even tell them where the Koreans got this stuff under control. That's because they control that hair market. They went in there and they bought into that thing, and they control that
But
market.
like I said, it's deeper too, because number one, you know, because there is a white supremacy thing going on here too, and we are the bottom of the line. They're gonna treat us as the bottom, and so therefore, you do have to buy products, and most of the time, those products that you have to buy is from a white manufacturing company.
Or they got a lot of those Koreans and stuff now, Ted, and these stores they are producing this stuff in Korea, and they're putting it into these containers and these container ships and stuff, and shipping it over there to their people here in the United States, along with shipping it to all
I'm
the other
glad
countries
you
who
said that.
got it.
And where do we have our people? Who gonna help us get product?
But that's the hair business, Ted.
Who is
Grab
gonna
your
help us
niche,
get our product?
grab your niche and dominate that market. They find a way to dominate that market. Find a way to dominate that market. Think
Well,
outside that box.
number one, you have to have.
You don't
Well,
have to have anything. You can take
you, you
what
know,
you can get.
you know.
You can find a monopoly. Find a monopoly and take it from them. Don't let nobody say no. You can't have it. I ain't gonna out. No, take no for no answer. I tell people this all the time. You don't take no for an answer. I can't. Yes, we can. We just got to fight for it and everything. And I know we tired of fighting, but you got to continue. Yes, every day you wake up, it's a fight. Every day you wake up, it's a fight. And you just got to fight for it. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, this man holding me back. I'm going to find a way to do what I got to do. I don't care what it is. I'm going to find a way. And I'm going to think outside the box. I'm going to do all kind of stuff to get what the heck I need. Whatever it takes, I'm going to get it. And we just got to do that, Ted. We got to. I don't. Oh man, I get frustrated when people say stuff like that. I'm gonna sit out there and if I got to take my pennies, nickels, and dimes and put it into a jar until I get enough money to do what I got to do, that's what I'm gonna do.
Well, I hear you, and I
Yeah,
agree with
and
you.
I'm
I'm
sitting up
just,
in here. I
I'm
told
agree with you, but what I'm saying
okay.
is reality. Because if I had a desire, which I don't, if I had a desire, if I had a desire to open up a grocery store,
Yep.
you know how many products in the grocery store? Hundreds, thousands of products.
Hmm.
And if uh, we got a name brand who has a subsidiary of a name brand that sells, not necessarily manufacture, but they store those products and they ship them to different grocery stores. I go
Hmm.
to that grocery store and say, I need 100 cases of that. He say,
Hmm.
I can't sell you 100 cases. I say, why not? Because I can't sell it to you. He said, but I can sell you 25, but I
Hmm.
need 100. And it's going to cost you more money because you only bought 25.
Okay.
Now, you know how much money they make at the grocery store? Not a whole lot. The profit is like 3%, bro.
The margin is very
His
thin.
margin is so low, 3 to 5%. So if he gonna gouge me right there by getting only 25 cases, when I can buy 100 cases, and it'll be a lot. It's supposed to be a lot lower case price, and it's still gonna gouge me. But then I got 100 cases now. I know that this is gonna be a hot market on my shelves,
Hmm.
and it's gonna fly off the market. So therefore, I'm gonna get my money back right away.
Hmm.
That's the way it works, bro.
Yeah, you got to figure out a way. So you figured out a way, right?
But I figured out a way to only get to 25 cases. 25 cases ain't gonna be enough, and I'm not gonna get a good profit margin off of that.
But you just said if it's gonna fly
All I'm doing
off
is
the shelf.
providing a
If
product for my customers.
you just said it's gonna fly off the shelf. So you're not gonna keep it that long, and it's gonna fly off that shelf.
So now I got
So
to go back and go get another 25.
no, you got to go back. You have to go down there to the man and say, "Hey, man, I want to sign a contract with you. If you don't sign a contract with me, I'm gonna find somebody else. I'm gonna find somebody else who's gonna sell me 100 cases. And next thing I'm gonna do is find out when that old boy ain't there, or I'm gonna sit outside his store one of these days, or ask
So we got to go
boys,
through all of that.
ask one
See,
of the
that's what
stock
I'm
boys.
talking about.
I'm gonna ask
See,
one of
that's
the
what I'm
stock
talking
boys.
about.
I'm gonna say, "Hey,
We
man,
got to go through all that
Uber,
ish.
that's fighting. That's you go because you're gonna get your 100 cases. You're gonna whatever it takes, get it. Whatever it takes." I'm gonna ask that stock boy who in the back there. Say, "Hey, brother, who bringing what truck?"
Oh, what do you mean, brother? Why the stock boy got to be black?
Oh, they always are. They get the black jobs. This black jobs.
Lord have mercy. You stereotyping your own people.
Yeah, man, you got the black jobs.
Lord have mercy.
Cause ain't nobody else gonna take the job. But black
But you
people
know
because they ain't
what?
paying shit. Sorry.
Business is war.
Yes, sir.
And
More.
that's the thing. And the one thing that this is just my own opinion. I'm going to throw this out there.
Okay.
There are certain products that we always buy,
Right.
but we don't have anybody to manufacture them.
Right. And then that would be my next step. Once I got my 100 cases from that supplier that he getting it from, I'm gonna get my 100 cases, and then and if I'm selling more than 100, they're going cases and stuff and everything. At some point in time, I'm gonna sit down there. I'm gonna find somebody that I know who's a friend. It can be black, white, purple, pink, or whatever. Say, hey man, let's start up a daggone business here in Canada. Y'all produce the stuff, and I'm gonna buy it. We gonna sell it. Cause I'm gonna think outside that box.
Well, this is the whole point. What I'm trying
And
to make
and
is
and
that
and then Ted, my next move and stuff and everything is I'm going to increase the amount. 100 cases ain't gonna be enough for me. Once I get my 100 cases and stuff, then I'm gonna find a way to sell more than 100 cases. I'm gonna get the cases and stuff in because after once you find out who his supply is and his supply sells the stuff to you, then I'm looking for 200 cases because I'm gonna try from then on. I'm gonna start beating him out, the one that I'm buying that stuff from. Say, hey, he gonna come back and say, hey man, where y'all getting y'all stuff from? I'm gonna go to his folks and stuff that he been selling it to and everything, and say, hey, I'm gonna sell it to you for $1 or $2 cheaper than bruh man over there was and everything. You gonna buy it from me? Yes, sir. I'm gonna be selling it to them. He gonna be losing his market share because he didn't sell me them 100 cases.
you got to go through all that ish
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm going to tell you
just to have a business.
and I'm going to tell you who the best marketeers are who do that stuff every day. Them dope dealers. They doing that stuff every day. They do the same thing every day because they got a market share they got to deal with. They got them dope addicts out there. They got to keep giving that dope to, so they figure out how to get that dope cheaper. Remember Denzel Washington in the movie and stuff, and there them Italians wouldn't sell him all that stuff he wanted. So where did he go? He went to the source. He took out, got him some money together, and went over there and rode his little mule through the jungles and stuff and everything, and went to the source to get his stuff.
That's true.
And told them folks, I ain't coming back over here no more because these bugs is eating me up.
What was that guy's name? What was his name that he played? I forgot his name.
Oh man, yeah, I did too. Yeah. But anyway, that was his thing. He said, "You ain't gonna sell it to me." So even this man was doing something illegal. He wasn't very smart, but he figured out a way how to increase his market share and beat them Italians out. Matter of fact, when he got through with the stuff, he started selling it to the Italians. So that's crooked stuff, Ted. But we talking about legal stuff. So sometimes you have to learn from bad stuff and everything to take care of the good stuff.
Well, I hear you talking, but you know, it's not that simple and it's not that easy.
It's that simple. It's that simple. It's that simple, my friend. I done did it before, man. I did it in the places that I worked at. I come in there. They got an operation they've been running for 25 years, and they ain't hardly made any money at all. When I got through with it, I increased their market tenfold. And see, Ed, how did you do it? You got to think outside the box, my friend. You got to think outside the box. Can you find some more people who want to buy our product? Because I can produce as much as you want. But you have to figure out how to do it. And you have to work it and tweak every little thing that you can tweak. We created a process and stuff where we can produce a whole batch of this stuff in 24 hours. You come out the door. Before that, it was taking 3 days. I increased it down to 1 day to getting that stuff out, pushing that stuff out. It's okay, we can't put it in these little bitty bags no more and stuff. We're going to sell this stuff to you in 1,000-pound bags. Went to the customer and stuff and everything, told them we're going to sell you this stuff in 1,000-pound bags, save you some money. You ain't got to worry about busting these bags over there. And the customer bought it. Ingenuity. Figure out a way how to do it. It can be done. And I know it.
I hear you talking.
I know
Just
it.
talk
Oh
to
man,
me.
hey brother, hey. What's your last word, man? We way over. We way over.
I want to tell the people, for those that are listening, you know, I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for Ed. I'm gonna speak for myself.
Okay.
You know, I'm not a scholar, but I read a lot. And over the years, and I have all kinds of opinions, but I like to deal with facts.
Mm-hmm.
So we have opinions and we have conversation regarding things that affect our community. When I say our, I'm talking about Black community. And at the same time, we talk about things that affect everyone, like politics, business, those types of things. So we try to actually have a conversation and say, make you think, or at least want you to think and have a critical thought about different things that is going on around you. And if you like this show, we want you to sign up for notification, become subscribe with us, so that and bring up subject matters that you think that would be interesting for us to bring up and discuss, because we're just too. Well, I don't like the word senior, but we're elderly people that like to have a conversation about different subject matters. We don't, you know, at least I don't. I don't like to talk about gossip and other people and all that kind of craziness, but I like to talk about things that are pertinent to our community and things that would better us and make us better. Ed?
My thing is from now until November the 5th, I'm telling everybody who listen to them, go vote. Hey, people, vote. I don't care. Quit crying, vote. Don't tell me your vote don't count. It does. Go vote. Early voting start. Get out there and early vote. Get out there and early vote because these folks out here, they are not willing to count your vote here. You're going to have to force them to count your vote. You're going to have to go out there and do what's necessary to count your vote. Because if it wasn't valuable, these people wouldn't be spending thousands, millions of dollars to stop you from voting.
That's a true
They're
statement.
spending millions of dollars to stop you from voting. So it's got to be valuable. If they're spending that kind of money, it's valuable. Your one vote is valuable.
And they're willing to go to jail for it.
Absolutely. To stop you from voting. So it's got to be worth something. It's worth something because they fighting to stop you from doing it. So you're going to have to fight to keep on voting. We have a process here where our state legislature here in Georgia is setting up is already in action. There's a website sitting out there where anybody can go on there, that website, and say they can disallow your registration. And and in the website, they will disallow your registration. You haven't got to say a word. You will be non-registered to vote in the election.
You
It's
know what
crazy.
Georgia, you know
Yeah.
what your state representative just did?
Yeah.
You know what your state secretary of state just did?
He probably
He
did.
he has a website where you can go on and then you can cancel your registration.
That's what I'm saying. You can cancel anybody's registration. That's what
That's
I'm just
what I'm
telling you
saying.
about. That's what I'm just telling you about. So, but there's a way around that. You have to be proactive. You're going to have to be proactive. And they're doing it in other states. They're not just not doing it as intensely as they are here in Georgia because they realize that our vote matters, that we can change the government by our vote. So, what we do in our household is that my wife checks their registry out once a week to find
What is
out
that?
as somebody put.
What is that website?
I don't know the name of it. My wife knows it because she goes to it every week and she checks it. Everybody in the household, she checks their name, make sure it has nobody went up in there and did anything. Because if they have done that, what you can do is that being proactive, then you have to go and to your registrar's place and stuff and take whatever documents you need to take to get your name put back on the rolls. I know it's some trouble. I know it's hard to do because you got to work. But find somebody to help you to do it. Find some way out of it. Have people, your folks. I'm hoping that these campaign offices and stuff all around the state have somebody who's sitting in that campaign office and their job is to do one thing. And that is if a person calls to that campaign office and tells you their name and where you live at, they can go and check to make sure that you are still registered to vote. A lot of work, but there's a way around this. There's a way around them. They put a roadblock up, we're gonna go around it. Almost like those folks crossing their border when Trump put that wall up. Trump put the wall up, made it high enough so they couldn't jump over it. So all they did was just find a way to walk around it. That's what we're gonna do.
A dig under, a
We're gonna
dig
walk
under.
around that wall. All right, people. I'm sorry. That's all I got to say. And I do want to get back to that topic and stuff about bad faith. It's man. I thought this mess was over with, but it's getting worse. These people, these Christian right folks, are getting worse. We had to deal with them and stuff back in the 80s and stuff in the 70s, but they still here and they still trying. Matter of fact, they've already tried. They stacked that Supreme Court with some mess. They the one that did that. They done told the representatives, hey, we're going to vote for you and we're going to put you in office. And they did. It took them a while. That's why I keep telling people about it. You got to fight for what you want.
Can't let up.
Fight.
Can't let up.
And they've been fighting for a long time, and they still fighting out there to get their Christian right stuff out there, where they say they are the only they don't want no other religion but them in this country. They don't want no Catholics, they don't want no Jewish religion, they don't want no Muslim religion. It's just them.
Yep.
Fighting. Still fighting. So anyway, we'll see you people and stuff in a couple of days. Thank you so much for listening to us. Bye-bye.